first and last word is always capitalized in a title. And please remember words like a, and, the, like the article adjectives, as well as prepositions, are not capitalized. So prepositions at this shape. What do you see? I see like a box. And I actually see the box. Now there's usually like another little word that goes like here before you say the box. Maybe you're wanting to talk about something that is put on maybe it can be like on the box. There is a circle sitting on the box. So the word on is a special word. On the box. Can you say on the box? And these special words that we're writing, I'm going to try to write a lot of those words in this little rectangle up here. They're called prepositions. Can you say preposition? So on the box is where something could sit. And so it could be on the box. If it's not on the box, it might be, maybe it's in the box. So down in the box, although we don't have X-ray vision like Superman, we can imagine that the ball is in the box. So it could be that the ball is in the box. And that's another word. I'm going to use purple up here, on and in. These little small words are called prepositions, and they're important because when we're talking about I and me, you're going to only use me after a preposition like on me or in me. Something else could be that the ball could be out here. Can you say beside the box? Beside the box. So right here it could be beside the box. Again, these words on, in, beside are prepositions. Now, what else could we say? I think I've done this lesson one time in class, but we really didn't go into it too much. Besides on the box or in the box or beside the box, we could say that the ball rolled around the box. And here it's coming out on the other side. It's moving. The ball went around the box. So around the box is also a prepositional phrase. This whole thing would be called a prepositional phrase, but this one little word here is called the preposition. So around the box. What other word could go in this blank besides around? On the box, in the box, beside the box, around the box. What about just like going like straight through the box? Maybe it left like a little hole and it came out the other side. Here it is. way up there. The ball went through the box. Oh, this word is hard. We need to have a lesson on the THR words because there's a thought, there's a through, and there's a thorough. And a lot of students get thought, through, and thorough mixed up. But through is also a preposition, and it can help make the prepositional phrase like through the box. Can you think of another preposition? What else can the ball do? And when we're talking about prepositions, we're talking about the position of the ball to the box. On the box, in the box, beside the box, around the box, through the box. What about just sitting up here in the air? Maybe it's tied to a string hanging from the ceiling. Maybe it's over the box. What about over? Over is also a preposition. It's talking about where the ball is, over the box. I bet you've got another one now, because if it's not over it, where could it be? Totally correct. It could be under. Might not be over the box, but it could be under the box. And basically, that's teaching you what a preposition is and then the prepositional phrase. And it doesn't always have to be about a box. It could be on the street or through the door or around the friend or beside the store or under the bed. So these phrases are going to have a different object. Box is just an example. So the box is just an example of what you can use to understand what prepositions are. Everyone say prepositions. I can use prepositions. So in your ELA notebook, I want you to write your name and the date and the word preposition, and then I want you to make a list of prepositions that we've talked about today. On, in, over, under, around, through, above, below, beside, try to make at least 10 of them. See if you can't find one more. This is one that's often used in your readings, is with the box. It's not any different than any of the other ones, so really shouldn't have this. But when you see the word with is a preposition. And it could be with my friend or with the red was the blue, or I went walking with my dog. And you'll find these prepositions in sentences. And it's important because prepositions have a noun after them. Like on, what's a noun that would come after the preposition on? Let's see, on TV, on the TV, in the room, over my bed. So room, TV, bed are all nouns. Because remember, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So nouns are different than prepositions. Prepositions are what we're talking about, but we've already talked about what nouns are. Nouns are people, places, and things. So these words right here are nouns, whereas the words in black are the prepositions. Under the water. I don't have enough room here to write it big. I can hold my breath under the water. Well, water is a noun, under is a preposition. Around the field, like I went running around the field. You don't have to write all these nouns. If you want to, you can. Through the garden. The rabbit hopped through the garden. Above my head. So head, garden, field, water, bed, room, TV are all nouns. On, in, over, under, around, through, above are all prepositions. Below what? Above what? My head. On what? The TV. In what? The room. Over what? My bed. Under what? The water. Around what? The field. Through what? The garden. Below what? Below sea level. So it doesn't have to have a my or a the. Below sea level. Beside a, you could have a instead of the. Beside a plate. So the fork was beside a plate. With your aunt or aunt. So these are all the nouns that are underlined, and the prepositions are the black words. Hello, second graders. I apologize for doing this lesson old school, but I need to teach you real quickly about capitalization of titles. So, a title is the name of a text. It can be a book, it could be a magazine, it could be the title of a chart or a graph or a table. But titles are everywhere, and the first rule about titles is that the first word and the last word are always capitalized. So let's think of the name of a book. Maybe The Cold War. So we know that the is the first word of the title, so the T is going to be capitalized. And we also know that war is the last word in the title, so war is going to be capitalized. Cold is in the center of the title, and cold is not an article adjective, and it also is not a preposition, so it also is going to be capitalized. So most titles, if there are bigger words inside the title, if there are most titles, if words inside the first word and the last word are significant or really important words, they're going to be capitalized. It's only prepositions and article adjectives that are often not capitalized, and only if they're in the center of the title. Because if you have an article adjective like an, the, or a, at the beginning of the title, it's going to be capitalized, of course, because it would be the first word. So if I were writing a book and I were going to name it A Walk in the Park, then it starts with the word a, which is an article adjective, and it ends with the word park, which is also going to be always capitalized. Then a walk in the park. Is walk a significant word? Absolutely. So we're going to capitalize the W in walk. And then we talked about prepositions in that little mini lesson. In is a preposition, and it's in the middle of this title, so it's not capitalized. And that is an article adjective. So if you're not sure what article adjectives are, there are only a few of them. You have a, an, and the. 3 article adjectives. These words are not capitalized in a title. As well, all of the little prepositions, the ones that we talked about in the last video, those also are not capitalized in titles. Now, titles of books are always underlined, and if you have a title of a magazine, those types of titles have the quotation marks, which is what we talked about yesterday in our lesson. So this would be a book. But if I had a title that had quotes around it, like Our Zoo Trip. If it's in quotes like this, it's going to be more of a magazine title of a story or maybe a play of some sort. Books are underlined or put in italics. And I talked to you once about how italics looks different than regular print because italics is slanted like that. Anyways, that's just a quick mini lesson on how to punctuate titles. So I hope that you can remember that. Have a great weekend. Feel free to write your own stories and to create your own titles.